Buyer's Credit Coach is a system, it's a virtual system that I built back in 2004 to allow folks with less than perfect credit to go in for free and to restore their credit. We didn't get into a lot of scenarios concerning testimony and things of that nature. We have over 100,000 users on the system. It's a code fusion based system. I've done that when I was retired from the Homeland Security piece when I came to Atlanta back in 03-04.
And so, as I was speaking to that, it's crucial, that credit is crucial, that we have good credit. And it's funny because I joke a lot of times that it's funny that credit has become more important based on even the times that we're living in, where we know people don't have jobs, we know that they don't have as much as they used to have. Credit has become more important. Now you need it for a job, you need it for a home, you need it for utilities, you need it for trash service sometimes, you need it for everything for the most part. Now you gotta have some sort of credit. What is the biggest thing that you're seeing out here, the mistake that people are making as it relates to credit?
Not even acknowledging that they have credit. Normal folks go into to an agency of business and try to extend themselves, and then they find out, in some cases, the bad news. You're not approved, and then they try to, there's an organization that's trying to put people in higher interest rates and things of that nature. And that's the worst time. You need to really empower yourself prior to going out to try to extend yourself to credit. Credit is pretty much a scenario of algorithms. It sits at a place called, for example, Equifax. They store a ton of information on everybody. It just resides there until somebody requests that information. Once that information is requested, then these supercomputers pretty much spits out a computation about the individual based on their credit and social security number. So some of the pitfalls that's going on right now is get in there, find out good, bad, and indifferent where you stand. Take a look at your standing, validate, are these things yours? And we use 5 simple steps when we developed this. I'm an old-retired military guy. So when I came back from Japan before I got here, it was pretty much when I left as a broker in real estate, it was 3 to 5 ways to buy real estate. When I came back in 03-04, it was 600 ways to buy real estate. Now I was in 3 states at that time. And I said to myself, something is seriously wrong. And then when we built the Buyer's Credit Coach, and we have a sister company called the Budget Credit Coach that we haven't revealed yet, everything begins to fall back to pretty much to our classification. Right now, there's only 4 companies licensed by the Better Business Bureau and reviewed by the governor's office that can even deal with these particular issues. The Buyer's Credit Coach happens to be one of them.
That's good. That's an amazing tool. And again, I just want to make sure people are empowered and understand it. And I tell people all the time, you know, it's almost like being sick and not wanting to go to the doctor. You know, a lot of men have that issue. They know they don't feel well, but they just don't go to the doctor. You know, credit is the same thing. We know we got something there, so we just don't go and look at it. We keep blinders on. But I've known so many people that built businesses based on credit. Whether it was a $20,000 credit card or a $50,000 line of credit. But having that and being able to turn it into millions of dollars. Just because they had that, they were able to leverage. But what we've been focusing on in my company, and we're doing partnering with Buyer's Credit Coach to create some amazing tools, is my company is based on the whole wealth principle. And when I say the wealth principle, we consider wealth to be wisdom to establish assets and leverage the harvest. Okay, so it's wisdom to establish assets and leverage the harvest. And so we got to look at what assets we have. Credit can be one of those assets. A lot of times I think assets are your relationships, your time, they're also your knowledge, your gifts and talents. What you have, these are the assets that we have to learn how to leverage to have the harvest. And we got to have the wisdom to be able to do that and to establish those, to create that foundation. I think credit is one of those foundational pieces. Credit speaks for you before you can speak for yourself. And I tell people, somebody got mad at me recently. I was talking to some real estate agents, and I was teaching a class, and I was saying, credit is pretty much your character. And they got mad at me. They said, well, in this economy, it's hard for you to say it. It's hard for you to say that because we've had foreclosures and we can't, you know, people don't have jobs and we can't do what we're supposed to do. And I understand it, and I didn't mean it in the sense that it made you less of who you were, but that's how I didn't create the system. That's the system that's been created. So when they look at you, they're judging you based on your credit. Before they even get the chance to meet you personally, they're looking at your credit. And so we've got to understand that if the game is being played, we got to know how to play the game.
I tell you, it's not difficult. When I started studying the parameters of credit, one of the things I do is since we're on a code fusion system, for example, it's easy to show a person than to tell them. For example, we have about a certain number of folks in I could probably go through this room in 22 minutes. I can take one person out of the population of the room, from start to finish, 22 minutes, have you ready to dispute your particular concerns and get it to the right agency. The system that's built on Cold Fusion allow you to get in that environment and do it all collectively. You don't really need somebody to do that for you. You don't really need to charge a person to do it. So with the particular system that we're utilizing, is that businesses, starting in January, we're going to empower businesses to make up some of these losses, what we call dead files, or folks that you said no to when it came out of credit. If we place them in this particular environment, 3, 4, 5 months later, depending on what they're challenging, they should get help. The system is interactive, so it turns around and it talks back to the individual organization that puts them in. And in our collaboration state, credit is worth money. Interest rates, purchasing power, the ability to be able to have your character stand for yourself. Somebody says, okay, Albert, talk to me. What about you? What are your credit standing? I get that all the time. So last I checked with 824. Well, what type of ID protection system do you use? I said 0, none. So what do you mean? I said, what I do is I call Equifax and tell them I'm probably suspect for identity theft, put a protection on my credit for 1 year. How much that cost me? 0. So I just saved $12.95 in that particular aspect right there. These are small tips to include your credit report. Your credit report in the state of Georgia, you get 2 free a year. All you have to do is go to annualcreditreport.com and don't buy the products, just get what you need. Or go to the buyer's credit coach system and get help.
I love it. That's it. Well, how can people get in touch with you? How can they find you and follow you and get connected?
I've been listening to the Twitter gurus here, and I just became a Twitter person about 3 weeks ago. So I'm young. I'm probably going to follow everybody. I try to outsource it to my folks in Dallas to talk to people. They say, you can't do that. They want to hear from you. So I'm being there every blue moon saying something. But if I can give a tip, my phone number, you can reach me at my organization at 770-305, what is it? 320-30, let me give myself. I got so many folks on staff, I don't even know my phone. But I got a councilman back there with a ton of pens. He can give those to you with my phone numbers on there. But I believe my phone number is 404-309-4797. Again, my name is Albert Adams. I hope I can be able to augment and collaborate with some of you strong business persons.
Thanks.